Hello everyone, and welcome once more to Red-Wolves and Ramparts. I'm your host, Reace Barnett, and joining me at the table again is John, Noah, Jacey, and Trey. Trey sporting a stylish new look. Last time, we approached the remains of this vessel and met a interesting goblin named Stibber. Stibber, being on the wiser side of things, decided, well, maybe it might be best not to encounter the adventurers, and decided to sleep through the encounter with his boss. As such, as they entered into the ship here, starting off with John sort of just being a distraction and everyone on the route, Althuk decided to join in on the distraction to some degrees by rolling a natural one on his stealth and just crashing through the roof, which started off this combat. And during said combat, you managed to take out the Goblin King. All that remains now is one Goblin Rogue and the Goblin Wizard. So, we're going to pick it back up where we left off, with it being Jacey's turn. We're going to finish up this combat, and then we'll keep going. So, Jacey, you are up on the roof. I believe you were facing this way last time, so because you wanted to hit that direction. So, go ahead and do whatever it is you're going to do. I believe that you can hit either of these two goblins here.
Okay, I'll probably go with Ice Knife.
Okay.
Because I don't think it'll hit anyone else.
No, it shouldn't if you're aiming for that one right there. It would hit Timmble if you were aiming for the other one.
Okay. And I do have the twin spell. I don't know if that's effective.
That allows you to target a second character. So if you wanted to hit both of these with that, you could, but again, that would hit Timmble if you targeted the other one.
Okay, I'll just do the one. I'll
Okay.
just do the wizard then.
So, okay, go ahead and roll. Oh wait, is it a dexterity saving throw for Ice Knife, or is it a...
So it's an attack roll to do a d10, and then a dex save to not take the 2d6.
So go ahead and roll for an attack. I'm going to see if I can pull up Ice Knife.
Very easy. Oh, there, yeah. You'll be adding that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so on a hit, the target takes 1d10 piercing damage. So what did you roll a hit?
17 and then add 6 and 23.
Yeah, that hits. So roll 1d10, then it needs to make a dexterity saving throw. That probably did not, so roll 2d6 damage on top of that 1d10.
Is the D10 this one?
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's by power of 10, but just divided by 10, whatever the result is.
Okay, 5.
Okay, so then roll a d6 twice.
This one. 1.
1.
3.
3. Okay. So as you fling forth this dagger of ice out from the top of the ship, you see it intersect into the Goblin Wizard. You see her kind of try to grab at it, and then suddenly it explodes into this glacier shatter. You see her just sort of frost forming on her hands where she tried to grab it, and just sort of seizes up, falling backwards. She is dead. Right off the bat, nice. So, going from Jacey's turn, Trey.
I still hurt really bad. The Goblin King is
Dead.
yes. Okay. Then I'll run up to the Goblin Rogue.
Okay.
I will attack.
Is that kind of where you want to be?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. 10, 12, 13, 14.
Yes, that is.
Okay. And then I'll also just do my offhand.
Okay.
10.
That also hits.
Oh,
Wait,
sweet.
10?
10.
No. Sorry.
Okay. So 1, 8 damage.
That also kills him. So As the wizard gets the ice knife, you run up and you just sort of on the last goblin. Its head cleaves off of its body, and the body falls suit. So, there wasn't a whole lot left after that last combat. As Althuk lands the final blow on the final goblin, quiet enters the ship finally. The tussle of combat dies down, and you are left surrounded by dead bodies of goblins. The body of the king lying over here, and on him, the shining golden crown that had given him some form of mystical power to avoid damage. And as the combat dies down, eventually you hear footsteps coming up from behind. And as you sort of turn, poised to attack, you see Stibber raise his hands.
Stibber!
Well, I'll be honest, not the massacre I was expecting, but I'll take either side at this point.
Right.
As you see him sort of walk past you and walk up to the Goblin King.
Oh, Stibber, what are you doing?
Getting your crown that you wanted. He takes one of the silver coins off of the goblin bodies, and you see him sort of wedge it in between the crown, kind of using it as like a bottle cap remover, and you see it sort of, the crown comes off, and he passes it over to Timmble. Somebody tells me you probably weren't going to figure that one out.
Yeah. Was that in his head?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, you see sort of a line of like blood.
Pull out a handkerchief.
Is this the cure?
I believe so. I mean, whatever it was certainly giving him some sort of healing. Also, not aging either. I think he was like 50 years old or something.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty old for a goblin. Mm-hmm. So, what's up for you?
I'm going to flee up into the north and hope that I can find the rest of the tribe and hopefully not get murdered as a deserter.
Well, you could do that and be like at risk of murder, or we could talk about that whole like
I did give
intent
you
of
a business
employment form,
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't kill you, so.
It really is an interesting thing. One employer gets murdered by somebody else looking for another. You really just have to take the time to think, are those the people you want to be working for?
That's fair.
I thought that's how goblin law worked.
It is. I do want to work for it. It didn't take me very long to sort of sort that out.
Yeah.
So anyways, what kind of payment plan or anything like that's going to be working
We'll
on?
have to get in contact with our employer, but I mean, I can cover you as of right now as like a temp.
I don't know what that means, but sure.
All right. I don't have any forms on me right now, but if you'll follow me back to.
I ain't going anywhere.
Awesome. Cool.
So, as you hold the crown in your hands, did you take any damage during that fight, by the way?
I did. Fork it over.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Okay. As you hold it in your hands, you feel sort of your wounds, not as quickly as most healing magic, but it sort of begins to start stitching already. So, like, by the time that you get back to the town, you're going to be back to full health.
Okay. If I notice this and like I take like the 1 hit point back or something like that, I'll be like, Althuk, you need this more than me.
Thank you.
So
Don't put it on your head. I think that's a bad idea.
As you like hold it in your hands, you feel this like sort of warm glow. And you see, while his wounds were kind of stitching slowly, your wounds begin to sort of stitch a lot quicker. And you feel like your strength starting to come back to your body as you just hold this golden crown in your hands.
I'm going to walk over to each of the goblins and take the coin that each of them have.
Okay.
Just pocket it.
Okay.
These might be useful later on.
Yeah, in case we need to kill you.
I was thinking killing the CEO. If we're going to give him this.
Excuse me?
If this is okay.
So
This is a crown
Althuk,
that makes you immortal.
there's a little thing they teach us in my department about brand loyalty. So I'm going to pretend that was a joke.
Sure.
I'm not even a part of their brand yet, and already you see him draw a dagger. You better not be planning to kill my boss.
I'm just saying, if a person has an immortal crown, I don't trust them.
I agree with keeping the silver coins on hand, just in case, someone else, like our tour guide, for instance, decides, oh, it's my crown now, then we need to stop him, right?
I tell you what, I'll hold on to the coins.
I'll hold on to the coins. You
How
can
about
hold
we
on to
keep-
the
I'll hold
crown.
on to the crown.
Yes.
Yeah, we keep them separate, yeah.
Oh, you should probably identify this. And also this still beating root heart.
As you hold the crown in your hands, you feel like the warm glow, and as you hold the heart in your hands, you feel an overwhelming sense of dread. Sort of just like,
Maybe hold one of those at a time.
I open one of the urns, boop, put the heart in it, cram it down in there, and boop. You might pickle
Probably
in there.
shouldn't let these touch also. I would hate to grow a whole tree person.
It's in the urn, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll do that back in town.
Yeah.
So,
How much health did I get back?
it is the equivalent of a short rest, so you can use hit die if you want to.
Okay.
Does it just straight up let you use your hit die at any time, or?
As you're holding the crown, and if you spend half of the time of a long rest doing, or a short rest doing anything else, it gives you the equivalent of a short rest. So you can be doing combat, you can be doing anything else. As long as it is a 30-minute spin, you could be traveling, it gives you the equivalent of a short rest and hit die back.
Okay.
As well as some various other things too, but that's the effect that you guys are experiencing right now. So as you guys sort of begin moving your way out of the ship, anybody want to loot the goblins?
Oh yeah.
I said it last time with the frog people, but is there any sort of elements of the goblins you would like to loot? Like their ears, their teeth for whatever reason? I don't know.
No, these are people. That feels weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we have any monster crafters in the
The most important area, I guess, wouldn't even particularly be the goblins, but the area of where I'm sure the loot is behind the king's chair.
As you sort of begin looking around, you find this sort of cubby where it appears that they have beds and stuff set up where they sort of were living in. You see there's a pseudo chest that is set up towards the back, and kind of opening it, you find a couple of just sort of assorted goblinoid valuables. You find a golden chalice that they seem to have picked up from somewhere that has some sort of liquid in the top of it. You find sort of this small golden necklace that was sitting around. Oh, and also the reason why you guys were here. As you guys begin sort of poking around all of the things, you eventually find this sort of crate that, as you kind of get close to it, it begins to reek of this awful smell. And as you kind of carefully peek inside, you find the dead bodies of 3 people piled up.
I feel less weird about taking their teeth now. Not saying we should, but
You want to put them on the dental record?
no, I mean obviously they're dead, so that doesn't really matter. But more so just saying wow, this is messed up. All right.
Oh, because they stuffed a.
Yeah, this is not a big box.
Yeah, it is a very small box that you can see that a couple of them are missing arms and legs.
Does it
and
look like they were eating them?
No, it doesn't look like they were eating them necessarily, but the arms and legs aren't there, so maybe they cut them off and ate them, but just mainly the bodies are just sort of, the torsos and heads are just sort of stuffed into this crate. And it is reeking a god-awful smell.
We should probably bury them.
And the last of it is, you see this long great sword that was leaned up against the Goblin King's throne, as well as some assorted gold coins that are piled up kind of on a side table next to it, where he appeared to have been counting them. About 30 gold pieces in count, as well as 50 silver pieces. And the greatsword is ornate, made from a very high quality silver, and has engravings and etchings upon it.
You say great sword. This is a goblin. Is it a great
It
sword?
is not a goblin's greatsword.
Oh, this is like a legit
This
one.
is a legitimate greatsword.
Okay.
And you can see that the Goblin King himself had a greatsword, but in comparison to this one, it is considerably smaller, which is why he probably wasn't wielding this one, because it is probably too heavy for him to wield.
I'll walk over and just like inspect it.
Looking over it, it's beautiful. It looks like that it was recently shined, and that seems odd because goblins don't look like the kind that would have shined it. But then again, it has sort of collected a bit of dust upon the blade itself, and the tip of it has been sitting in mud for quite a bit and has a little bit caked onto it. So you can tell that it was really well maintained, but has fallen into disuse over the course of probably like a week or two at this point.
You think it was one of theirs?
Probably.
Yeah.
But just in case, I've come across a lot of cursed artifacts in my day. Might be a good idea just to let me give it a once over before you like go sticking it in yourself or anything.
Yeah, all right.
Just you can hold on to it when we get back to town.
Sure.
So, that concludes sort of the loot basis that is going on.
The loot.
So, is there anything else that you guys want to do here?
Do we want to bury the bodies here, or we can go above and beyond, bring them back to town, take them to like Rain or something like that, or get them prepped for like a boat ride home to their families that they presumably have?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, you mean the bodies of our comrades?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, not the goblins.
I was like, that's seagull food, right?
They stuffed, was that 3 bodies in a box? I don't. I think they're fine where they are.
I think Chloe would want us to give them a proper burial.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
They're,
know how we're
they're
gonna-
quite decayed, though.
How decayed are they?
They look like they've been sitting in a box for a week or so.
Gotcha.
This is terrible. This is all my fault.
Oh.
Do explain yourself.
Development?
Well-
things.
You know how I've been kind of shady with my backstory
Yeah.
and why we don't know exactly why we're here?
Do you know exactly why we're
I
here?
do know exactly why we're here.
I'll just like,
Well,
So,
do tell.
Granddad kind of figured out that I don't do anything with the company, and he cut me off. And in rage, I kind of grabbed a random spell book and cursed him. So
Oh.
that's why I'm here, and that's why they're dead. So this is kind of all my fault.
That's why we're also here.
Yes.
I say, well,
well, you know,
mistakes happen.
sometimes we do things in a fit of rage, right? I don't think you can take all this. I don't think all this is you. You know.
This reminds me of the time that my cousin Alan killed my uncle, Benny. It's fine now. He got over the dead part. It helps whenever we're all, clerical workers. But have you talked to your grandfather about this?
Kind of. So he said that the only way that he would really let me into the family was if I came and made sure that he got the cure. So yeah, that's why I'm here. Otherwise it would make no sense.
I just to clarify for my own, edification, is this about being let back into the money of the family, or like the family proper?
Of course it's about the money.
All right.
What else?
Okay.
Wait a minute. You just said something about bringing someone back to life.
Yeah,
Why don't you just bring them back to life?
I'm not that good. No. That was my grandpappy.
It was also kind of a curse, you said, yeah? So
Yeah.
not.
No.
The body.
In the we can bring him back to the the company can. Yeah, I forgot. Take it to my grandpappy. They'll be fine. Right as rain. More than likely.
Would they? All right. Well,
So we
Good.
need to bring
Oh,
those
and
back with us.
Yeah. I mean, it will cost the company some diamonds, but
sure.
no, these were contractors. Is that in their contract?
You see as
Somehow I doubt it's part of
Their family can get a loan.
benefits.
you
It'll be
see Stibber kind of like come over to one of the bodies and sort of like open up his mouth and kind of like reach in and is like, you see him pull out a coin.
Where did that come from?
He was keeping it in his cheek.
Oh yeah.
All right.
It's for people who usually want their bodies to be found.
Well,
I've stolen them out of quite a few mouths, actually, myself.
right. Well,
Some good side of hand.
yeah.
Oh, when they're dead. I see. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I don't just like yoink it out of their living mouth.
Yeah, that'd be
Well,
kind
I
of
mean,
hard. I feel like with
Could
everything
try.
missing.
So how much does this box weigh?
I don't know.
Not you, Stibber.
I'll try to.
I'm asking.
It's 3 dead bodies.
So,
I mean,
if you want to try to lift it, make an athletics
Is there
check.
like a wagon or like a wheelbarrow nearby?
You can make an investigation check to look around.
Let's go.
12.
Yeah.
Sort of like getting like your hands underneath it, and
Guidance.
lifting it. You can get it up off the ground, but the likelihood of you being able to truck it all the way back to town is pretty difficult.
Do we want to just like come back for it?
11.
11. Looking around, it's a goblin encampment. I mean, it seems like they weren't really planning on leaving anytime soon. So the area is not really suited for carrying heavy objects.
So, plan. There's a lot of driftwood around here. We can fashion like a kind of sled type deal. I mean, it's just loose sand, right? So like, surely we can just pull it across there, and then you like clean it up with whatever it is you do, and make it not smell like sin. So we're not trucking a bunch of dead bodies through town. Poor.
Aren't we literally doing that?
Yeah,
I mean-
but like they want. It's just a crate to them, right?
We
That's what I'm
could. I still think we should take this to Rain's place because that's where dead bodies should stay. in
Well,
the
yeah,
meantime.
but like not.
But so like alternate idea, instead of like a sled where we have to drag it, maybe we can like put 2 sticks like right underneath it and then like tie those to it, and then it's like a everybody grab a corner kind of thing. Teamwork.
I can barely lift the backpack I have on now.
I
I'm
think
not sure how useful I'd be.
Yeah,
I'm a little short.
every hand helps.
Okay.
maybe me and you together can like
Yeah.
manage one corner.
I can like ride on your shoulders, and then you can
Yeah,
do the most of the work.
something. I don't know if that's gonna work, but we'll try.
Yeah, we'll try. All right.
So finding some pretty large sticks just sort of out of the rubble is pretty easy. The whole place is just wood gore everywhere, pretty much. So just finding sticks is child's play.
Wood gore, gore, you know.
It all mixes together.
Goblin gore, wood gore. Sticking the sticks underneath it, you have Althuk just sort of lift it up for a few seconds, just chunk. So, if you all want to make an athletics check to see if you can lift it, Timmble, I'm going to say that you are going to have advantage because
Guidance.
Stibber is going to ride on your shoulders and try to make both of you become one person
height.
to some degree.
Gotcha.
That's not awful.
Oh no. That was a 1 and a 7. 7.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
Oh wow.
I'm not weak at all.
8. This is the only one we roll, right? Did you
Yes,
roll 2?
just
Okay.
that one plus your whatever your athletics is on your skills.
Yeah, it's still 8.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
I had advantage because he was
So, luckily for you guys, only 2 of you had to succeed on this. So,
almost as strong as Althuk.
yeah, the other 2 sort of make sure that the whole thing doesn't tip more than anything. So, surprisingly, you see him just sort of like take up one of the corners, and you see him like, I'm surprised that I'm lifting this.
Noodly arms.
And then you
all about
pretty much
form.
take up the brunt of everything else that he's not carrying. And
course.
with the 4 of you, or the 5 of you technically combined with Stibber, you managed to truck this kind of back to town. And by the time that you sort of get to the outskirts, you're all sort of like managing to like barely keep it up. And then eventually, as you kind of just get into town square, you just sort of, all of you just let it fall down, and the crate just doesn't break.
You there, boy.
You see, there's like quite a few people like all of a sudden have just been like attracted to the equivalent of a town hero just coming in with like a large crate, and you see a couple of them coming over.
No, it's not what you think. Please, no, please stay away.
Don't need some help with this.
Boy. Can you get Rain? Also, yes, we could use some help carrying this.
All right, yeah.
Bring us Rain and 3 strapping young men.
You see like an older gentleman kind of be like, one second, Charlie, bring you and your sons over here, all right?
Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
You see this dwarf and these two like kind of like a little bit like buffer than Charlie himself. Charlie has a bit of a gut going on, but like he's still kind of like on the buffer side.
Yeah.
You see him and then come over and sort of like, where do you want this to?
Rain, please.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take it over there. Ugh.
Don't.
Yeah.
It's full of dead fish. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
All right.
It's a shipment. Yeah.
You see, they start chucking it or trucking it over to the Salvation Church in the middle of the town. And as you sort of are all like kind of stretching, getting your muscles less sore, what do you guys do?
Should we like take a sec?
Yeah, no. Also, like, what time of day is it?
So you guys started in the afternoon, so about now it's not quite sundown yet, but you can see that the sky's starting to change colors above.
Can you identify the things soon? Okay.
But do we want to take a sec to sit down while I do that and just like recollect?
So I have now realized we did not tell Rain. So I'm gonna go and tell Rain. You guys can stay here.
How far is Rain's place away?
I mean, it's just in the middle of town. It's just like a block away.
Like, I'll just give you the crown if you want to go ahead and start identifying.
It's just a block away.
Yeah.
Pull out the necklace with the copper pinned in on it and then put it to my head and I go, Rain, can you hear me?
After a few seconds, you hear, "What is going on?"
Oh, sorry, it's Spencer from before. You know the party that came in and started talking to you about the cure?
What are you doing in my head?
Oh, sorry about it. I just didn't want to walk over there. We're really tired. We carried a big box. Just letting you know, there's going to be a crate with some dead bodies of a couple of adventurers, the ones who came in before us. Just try and, if you could, just clean them up a bit. We'll drop by with some gold later.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. What are you? How are you doing this? That's.
Sorry, I have like ancient magical artifacts. Don't worry about it. Anyway,
okay.
Thanks.
Sure.
Love
ya. What? Really? And so as you finish that and you sort of begin sitting down, do you guys want to head back to the inn, or like where do you guys want to go from here?
We can do that. We can check on Chloe. I think Chloe's probably fine.
Yeah.
Oh, we should tell her that her friends' bodies are. Can you do that one too?
Chloe
is a little bit farther.
A little bit further.
I don't think I have the range for it.
All right.
I mean, I can walk halfway in the dirt.
We should probably present the information in person.
It seems right.
That's fair. Not a phone call.
Yeah.
What's a phone?
What's a phone?
It's from a.
You mean like a sending
far off
stone?
line. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It's where I come from. They're called phones.
Oh, it's like a regional thing.
Yeah.
I like the word. It's a good word.
Where I come from, they're called Kellys.
Kellys.
Yeah.
I thought you said Kelly's. That'd be pretty funny.
Kellys.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, they're called Kellys.
Let's go tell a lady that her friends are dead. Woo.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna wait here.
Yeah, sure. I've done this before.
Okay. So, as we get ready to go and experience that, we're going to save that for the next episode.
Oh no.
Where we will we'll unpack that situation. So thank you all for tuning in. I've been Reace. This has been my ragtag crew of, I guess, police officers coming to tell distraught people that they know are dead. And we'll be seeing you next time on Red-Wolves and Ramparts. Goodbye.